This is Aaron with Steel Picking. In this video lesson, I'm going to show you how to play a complete country song from the beginning to the end. I'm going to show you the different aspects of a song and what I've run into as playing in bands. How you're asked to play either intros, pad chords behind a singer, or play fill, or play the turns, or or the endings. So each part of the song has a specific instrument normally that covers that. Also to let you know that a lot of things that you think that they're ad-libbing these songs and stuff, but it's really structured. You're usually given a chord chart, then you sit down as a group, you decide who's going to play what parts of the song. So I'm going to do that, show you all that, and then also tell you some of my thought processes behind why I'm playing certain licks over chords or fills, and talk a little bit about that. Alright, so we're going to make a backing track and tab available for this lesson, and you can check that out by going to the card above or in the description below, and you'll see the link to go there and check out our Patreon site. So we appreciate it, and let's look at the lesson. Alright, let's look at this lesson now. What I had in mind on this, I'm going to take some ideas and some suggestions that I had in some of the comments, and I'm going to take you through a whole song. And this is an original. I did the chord progressions. I thought it would follow some pretty normal patterns on a country type song, and also I wanted to show you every aspect of the song, or how I approach when I played with bands, or I played at church, or did a recording at a session at a studio. We're going to have a chord chart given to us. We have a certain set of chords that we're going to follow, we're going to play against. Also, you sit down to your initial talk is who's going to play what parts of a song. So you don't just go in there and you're not ad-libbing and you're not just something off the cuff. So what we did in this song is by design, the Steel took the intro, and then I did what I call a padding, which is simply playing chords behind the instrumentalist or behind the singer. And we're going to take it that this is a vocal, that somebody's actually singing this song, the melody. And then the next part, on the chorus, I actually played some fills, so I played some single string notes, and then we did a turn at the end, which was simply repeating the intro. So what you do in that situation, you look at the type of chords that you have, and then I normally have certain licks that I play over certain chords. Also, it depends on what kind of style that I'm playing, what the song calls for, or maybe the kind of sound. And also, if you're in a studio, you might actually have the engineer tell you that he wants a Ralph Mooney or a Paul Franklin, or a Buddy Emmons type lick or sound. So I chose a kind of I guess like a Mooney and a little bit of Lloyd Green type sound. So at the intro, it starts on the third beat. So there's two clicks, and we start on 3, 4, and come in on 1. The band comes in on the first beat. So we've actually got 2 walk-up notes. So the band comes in right there on the 1, which is D. So the intro starts out on a D chord. Now we could play that so I have 2 beats to make up. I can walk up to a D, which is what I do. Okay, so I'm trying to have a movement here of chords and notes, and I want to go down the fretboard. So I'm going to go from a D to a D, another D, which is what the intro is following. We have 2 measures of D seventh, or 8 beats. Then it goes to a G. Then it has 2 beats of C, D, C, D. Splits the last measure of that intro. Okay, so what I want to do now is show you the very first thing I do. Okay, so that's pretty easy. I start out on the 8th fret, play 4 and 6. That's on the 3rd beat. I simply move that up 1 fret. That's the 4th beat. Okay, now you see how that's dissonant in the sound? But we're going to move right up to the D. Okay, so that releases that tension in the sound that you're hearing by resolving up to the notes that we're trying to get to, which is a D out of a D. So again, we play 4, 6 at the 8th, slide it to the 9th fret, and we play it at the 10th. Now you can play each fret to emphasize that, which is again more like a country type sound. Okay, so when I get to 10, I'm going to play 4, 5, 6 as a group. Slide that back 2 frets from the 10th fret to the 8th fret and apply our A pedal. Now that's going to play over a D7. Okay, so I wanted to try to do something a little different now. We're still in D. I did a couple licks here using our ED flat knee lever. Okay, and I thought that was a little bit different, and it's a little, maybe a little more mental. So you go to your 5th fret, 4, 5, 6, A and B pedals down, ED flat knee lever also. As soon as you play that, you release the ED flat knee lever. Okay, we're going to go to our 3rd fret, 4, 5, 6, A and B pedal down, and then add the knee lever. So it's just... So this is the note. That's playing a D7. So now we have... Okay, then it resolves to a G. Okay, since I'm here at the 3rd fret, the easiest way to do that is no pedals, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's the notes I've been playing all along, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so again, as I'm looking at approaching an intro or something, if I'm doing something original, a lot of times the rule of thumb is to keep it as simple as you can and follow a good melody. So that's utilizing one group, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I'll show you a lick that I do a lot. Now the last part of the intro is going 2 beats of C, 2 beats of D, then it resolves to G. Now a real easy thing to play, and a lot of times when I was with a keyboard player, they would play a harmony with me. So I'm playing the melody note, that part of the melody. Now since it's moving so fast, we don't have a lot of time to do anything, but that's very effective. So out of the C, which is a 4 chord, I simply go 8, 7, 6, and then I go, the next 2 beats is a D. I just simply move up 2 frets and go 8, 7, 6. Okay, so now we've got... Okay, then it's going to resolve to a G. Okay, here at the 10th fret, I have a G with our pedals down. I pick 8 and 6 with B pedals down. Okay, now a lot of times, or it's been in my experience, after you do the intro, a lot of times you won't be asked to play the like fills on the next thing of the song. Usually they'll break it up, and what we did a lot of times, we would break up the guitars. We would have the steel guitar, then normally the piano, then maybe a lead guitar, then maybe a fiddle, then back to the steel. So we would try to break those instruments up and give the guitars something in between them. Okay, so now the song goes to a verse, and I'm simply padding chords. So I'm going to go from a G to a G7, okay, which is what the song's doing. Okay, I had 5, 6, 8 here at the 8th fret with A and B pedals is G. 5, 6, 8 at our C fret, A and B pedals, and add the E, D flat, and E lever. It's G7. Because the next chord in the progression, or in the song, is going to a C. So then I can release my pedals here and play 4, 5, 6, and I have a C chord. So now we've got G, G7, C. Okay, to make this a little more interesting, I'm going to add the second note to that C chord while it's ringing. Then I'm going to go back to 4, 5, and 6, because I have 8 beats of that. So there's 2 measures of C. Now the next chord in the progression is going to a G and a D. I'm going to do a steel guitar sound, so I'm going to do a slur. So the song goes G, D, resolves back to a G. Okay, to get the G, I'm going to go 4, 5, 6, 10th fret, no pedals, then come right into it with the pedals. That's a G. Now I'm going to utilize the sound that I was getting in the intro with that E, D flat, and E lever for my D chord. I go 4, 5, 6, 5th fret, A and B pedals down, E, D flat, and E lever, then release the E, D flat, and E lever. That's over the D. Now it goes to a G chord. Okay, so I'm going to do a movement now. Instead of just playing 4, 5, 6 here at the 3rd fret and just letting that ring, I'm going to do a movement from my 3rd fret to the 6th fret with A pedal, F, and E lever. Again, we're utilizing the steel guitar sound, to me, is like the slide. So that was a real famous intro when they came out with the F and E lever. So I'm going. Okay. So that was G, D, G. Okay, now I'm going to show you just kind of an old standard lick that I have. We know the song is going from G to D7. So I'm going to do a walk down, and again, a lot of times me and the keyboard player would do this lick. Or the fiddle player would play that with me. We'd play a twin, or he would play a harmony with me. So we're going from G to D7. So at our 10th fret, you play 5 and 6, A and B pedal down, 5 and 6, no pedal, 6, 7, B pedal, now 6 and 8, no pedals, and we're walking that note down to get to our D7. So we got 5 and 6 here, no pedals. Add your ED flat and E lever. Now play 6, 9, no pedals. So we got okay, then it goes to a G chord. Simplest way to play that is 6, 10 here with A and B pedals down. Okay, now I'm going to show you another lick. That was going from a 1 to a 5 chord. Back to the 1. Now I'm going to show you an easy way to go from the 1 chord to the 2 chord. Okay, in this instance, that's going from a G up to an A or A7. Okay, so that lick is played. That's another walk down. Now the way I play that is, since we're here at the 10th fret, I play 5, 7, and this is the note we're walking down now, that 7th string. Okay, you hear how that works? So 5 and 7, A pedal down, and I've already got my A and B pedal down. That's just a habit. 5 and 8 with A pedal, F knee lever down. Release your F knee lever, keep the A pedal down. Now play 5, 6, and 8, A and B pedals, ED flat knee lever. Now a movement now, or slur, release your A pedal. Well, that's ringing. Okay, now that's still an A chord. We've got 2 measures of that, so I can go to my 5th fret, play 5, 6, 9 with A pedal down, and release it. That gives us another kind of a steel guitar sound. Okay, all that's playing over an A7. Now it's going to go to an A minor. I can play that at my 3rd fret, A and B pedals down, 5, 6, 7. That's an A minor. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, A and B pedals down at the 3rd fret. Okay, now we're going to play something a little bit out of the norm. We're going to play that over a D7. Go to your 4th fret, play 5, 6, 9, A pedal. Go to your 3rd fret, 5, 6, 8, A and B pedals, ED flat and E lever. Those are playing over the D7th chord. Okay, so we've covered 2 parts of the song. We've done the intro, which was given to the steel, and then the next part of the song, playing over the verse, we were asked to play the pad or play the chords only. And then another part of doing that is I can play those a little simpler. Each one of those positions I showed you, you can change up the way you're playing the pads. So you can do that on your own and come up with your own ways to do that. But normally I keep that real simple. Okay, so now the next part of the song, we're asked to play some fills over the second verse. Okay, so the first lick I played is going from a G to a G7. And this was actually a lick that I learned by watching Marty Stewart. It was a guitar lick he did. Which he was doing like a Ralph Mooney type lick. So this is a lick going from G to G7, which is what the next part of the song is doing. I've got A and B pedals down, 12th fret to 8th string, slide to the 10th fret on the 8th string, 7th string, 6th string, B pedal is down. So let's change this part up. 5th string, no pedal, then pedal into it with your A pedal. Then pick 4. That's the way it phrases. Now the G7th part, you go to your 8th fret, A and B pedals down, E to E flat and E lever down also. Then release your A pedal. Okay, the next part of the song is playing over a C chord for 2 measures. So I'm going to do a kind of a Hal Ruggs or a Lord Green type lick. It's a good lick to learn. You know, you can use it over each chord. So the way I'm doing this for C, I go to the 9th fret, play 3, 4, 5, slide it to the 10th fret, and slide it right back. Again, you have this dissonance, but you're going to resolve it to the chord, which is C. So it goes 9, 10, 9. And you can play it at each fret. Then go to your 8th fret, no pedals, no knee levers. So we got, okay, so again, 3, 4, 5, F knee lever, 9th fret, 10th fret, 9th fret. Play it at each fret. 8th fret, no pedals, no knee lever. Now we're going to do almost the same sound, but below the chord. Okay, that's played, same group, 3, 4, 5, with the E to E flat knee lever. We're going to go 6, 7, 6. Then you go to your 8th fret, I slur into it, 7 to 8, playing 4, 5, 6 at the 7th fret, then real quick move it to the 8th. Okay, so that lick is. Okay, now the next lick is playing over a G chord and a D chord, then it goes to G. So this is back to the progression G, D, back to G. I'm simply going to do a variation of this lick. And this is the lick I'm going to play. Over the G, then I'm going to do the same exact lick over the D. So I'm not going to talk it out in D. It'll be the same way that you play it here at G. So we go to our 10th fret. This will be a pedals down position lick. B pedal is already down. Now a while ago we did this. Now this time we're going to start out, it's all going to be in the same position. At the 10th fret you go 6, string B pedal down, 8, 7, 6, So it's 6, B pedal down, 8, 7, 6, and we're going to do the same kind of lick we did a while ago. 5, no pedal, then slur into it, then 4, see? So we just had a variation of the other lick, but this time we played it with just within 1 fret. So we're going to take that same lick. Pedals down position for G is here at the 10th fret. So it goes to D for the next chord. So the pedals down for D is 5th fret with A and B pedals down. So that's over the D. So this was G. Okay, and I'm doing a little bit of muting, a little bit of palm muting. I'm not letting those, so I'm not letting those notes ring out. And again, that's kind of a Ralph Mooney. I'm sorry. So you do a lot of palm muting. So we want to keep that muted. Okay, now the next chord in the progression is simply a G. The easiest way to do that is I'm right here with the D lick. I just go back 2 frets, no pedals, no knee levers, and I play 4, 5, and 6 because I know the next thing coming up is going to be the repeat of the intro, which is the ending, and we're going to end the song. So I don't want to get too complicated. I want to be able to recover and get back up here to do the intro. So we have that's the G, and then it simply goes right back into the intro. And that's how it ends. Okay, so to recap, we had, when you're doing a song, you'll normally have an intro, verse, chorus. Sometimes you'll have a turn, and then you'll have normally what they call a tag, which is to get you to the ending. You'll have an ending and an out. So you go out of the song after the ending. And a lot of times I call those buttons, so we would do those little buttons on the end. And I've got a lot of those covered in my intro series that I'm doing. So again, I hope this helps you. I tried to explain what I was doing and why I was playing certain licks. A lot of times I'm trying to play, trying to keep it pretty simple because you have to, and I've talked on other lessons, you're trying to learn your audience, who you're playing for, the musicians that you're with, also what they're asking for. If you're backing up a singer or somebody like that, you really don't want to get too far out with your notes, your single note playing, or your chords. And we did a little bit of adventure with this D chord. But we moved that really quick. So that was just a little bit of an embellishment to a pretty straight up country song. So we learned how to do an intro. We came in on the 3rd beat of the click on the backing track. So the song comes in on the 1st beat, the band come in right there. We simply learned, I'm playing over D chords. That's going from a D to a D. That's like a little substitute chord, but it works over D. Pedals down D. Pedals down. Those are all D chords. Then I tried to make it a little more interesting just from a musical aspect using that ED flat knee lever. Okay, Okay, then I showed you, like, if you have a split measure, we had a C and D chord in one measure, which that simply means they shared the measure. There was 2 beats of each. That's moving pretty fast, so a real easy lick to play. And like I said, a lot of times the guitar would twin with me, or the fiddle or keyboard would play a harmony note with me. Okay, then I showed you 2 licks that are just old standby licks for me, going from a 1 chord to a 5, a G to a D chord. Okay, then I showed you out of that same lick how to walk down from a D to a D7. So we took that D note, which is our 8th string at the 10th fret, walked it down to the 7th of the chord, so we learned that lick. Okay, then I showed you another lick that I use a lot, going from a 1 chord to a 2 chord, which was another walk down. And that's walking this that's going from a G. Because a lot of times you'll hear people do, you'll hear that a lot. This is just a little bit different, and I really like the sound of that. And again, if you're playing with a keyboard player or a fiddle player, it's perfect for that type of situation where you can play twins or harmonies on that. So that lick going from a G to an A, we were simply walking that 7th string down here at the 10th. And then I showed you a Ralph Mooney lick that went from a G to G7. So that was a real effective lick. Okay, and then we did a lick out of C, which was simply, we've got 8 beats of C, so I did a, which was kind of a, I would say more of a Hal Roach kind of a sounding lick. Okay, then we did another G lick, was simply a variation of this one. And there's several of those. And we'll do some of those later. But that's just another real easy lick. Okay, it worked there in G, pedals down position at the 10th. So I simply did it at the D, pedals down position, which is 5th fret, A and B pedals down. Because we end up with our pedals down, and then it just simply ended in G, and then it just simply did the intro again. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, it's just a little more talking than I normally do, but I wanted you maybe to see what I'm thinking of when I'm doing these licks. A lot of times I'm playing licks and phrases that I've worked on. I'll see, you're not starting out without any idea of what's going on in the song. You're given a chord chart, so then you're also assigned which part of the song you're going to play over. So then it's up to you to kind of maybe draw from your knowledge, draw from some of these licks that we've been working on, and then play over that part. And again, if you're asked to pad or play chords in the background, it sounds silly to say it, but it's the simpler you play it, the better it'll be. I guarantee you. And then when you do get to do a little bit of the fill or the lead or the intro, then that's where you can kind of be a little more creative or a little more out there and show, you know, some of the licks or talent that you got. But most of the time you're asked to play really simple because you're there to back up the singer, and that's the main thing. So I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know, and just give it a try. Alright, as always, Jacob and I really appreciate you checking out our videos here on YouTube. If you like what we're doing, if you would hit the like button, we really enjoy seeing the feedback from y'all, and we appreciate that. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, if you do so now, then you'll get a notification when we're posting new material, so that'll kind of give you a heads up when we're putting new things up. If you would like to check out any of the equipment that we're using in the production, or the equipment I'm using and with the guitar and stuff, you can check out the Amazon links in the description. I'd also like to mention that we're doing a series on intros for the E9 tuning. So we have 5 more of those that are available still for early access on our Patreon site. Now you can check those out by going to the card above or the description below to our Patreon site. And we'll still have early access to 5 of those at our Tier 2 level. As always, Jacob and I really appreciate y'all, and let us know what you think about this format we did on this lesson. It was a lot more in depth, and hope it helps you. Maybe it's breaking things down even more. So I hope that's something that you like. If you do, let us know. So as always, for Jake and I, keep picking.